But we have so much to get into today, thanks in part to the in-season tournament. The knockout round officially starts in just over 4 hours. So let's run you through the matchups. Those games are today and tomorrow. So we're going to work backwards here because potentially the biggest matchup tomorrow is with the Suns visiting the Lakers. The Lakers have beaten the Suns twice this year behind fourth quarter comebacks, but Devin Booker missed both games, so keep that in mind. Also tomorrow, the Knicks and the Bucks will meet in another group play rematch. Giannis has had no trouble, y'all, with the Knicks in his career, going 26-8 against them, his second most wins against any opponent. Again, those games are tomorrow, but for tonight, the Pelicans and the Kings will play for the third time in the last couple of weeks after the Pelicans swept a pair of games in New Orleans in late November. That is sure to be a good one. And the first matchup to get everything started tonight will feature a contrast of strengths between the Pacers' league-leading offense and the 15-4 Celtics' second-best defense, strength on strength. So here's a look at the entire bracket, starting with the quarterfinals, hosted by the higher-seeded teams. Again, that is tonight and tomorrow. The winners of each game will advance to the semifinals Thursday in Las Vegas before the championship game, which will be Saturday on ABC. So, Woj, we're going to dive deeper into the game tonight between the Celtics and the Pacers. Kristaps Porzingis, he had an injury 11 days ago. He's missed the last 3 games. What's the status on the Celtics, big man?
Well, he'll miss his 4th straight game tonight with that right calf strain, but I'm told there's optimism that Porzingis will be back this week, barring any setbacks. And, that could be potentially Thursday in a semifinal game in Vegas if Boston advances tonight. He was on the bike during practice today in India, or during shoot-around in Indiana. And so he's got a couple more days to progress with that calf strain. But optimism, he could be back as soon as the Celtics' next game after they play Indiana tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure Celtics fans hope they take care of business against the Pacers so that he can join the team for the later matchups. But going to the Pacers specifically, Tyrese Haliburton, he did not play Saturday due to an illness. So what is his status for the game?
I'm told Haliburton really is determined to try and play tonight against Boston. He's had an upper respiratory illness. It was really knocked him off his feet earlier this weekend, missed the Miami game, which, his team won without him. We'll know closer to game time on Tyrese Haliburton, but certainly if they want to have a chance to advance to Vegas, against the Boston team that's determined to get there, they're going to probably need Haliburton tonight. We'll know closer to tip whether he can go, but again, I'm told he's very determined to do so if he can.
He is a major piece of that high-powered offense. Let's take a look at the odds as far as the in-season tournament goes. According to ESPN Bet, the Celtics, they have the shortest odds to win the tournament at plus 300, followed closely by the Bucks at plus 325. Then it's 3 West teams that are close in odds, with the Kings at plus 500, the Lakers at plus 550, and the Suns at plus 600. So, Ramona, I'm going to come to you.
Where's that Knicks money?
I'm going to go. Hey, listen. I'm going to come to you. Celtics, the best odds. Do they deserve to have that?
They deserve to have the best odds, but I was talking to Jason Tatum about this game and about this tournament because we all came into the season going, are guys going to take this seriously? Is this going to matter? It absolutely matters. He said to me, this is the biggest test we have had so far, and the fact that it's on the road is actually better for them because it locks you in more. This game is in Indiana. Tatum said, we have a good record. We have the best record right now, but we aren't even playing well. We're not sharing the ball like we need to. We're not playing at the level we need to be at. And so this tournament, in a lot of ways, they see it as something that can help sharpen their way that they play because they're not at the level that they think that they need to get to win it.
Yeah. And well, one thing that they have been able to depend on and that they can is their defense, which is, anchored by this backcourt and a dynamic duo defensively in Derek White and Drew Holiday, and the two of them together. Because first of all, Woj, we have, as you mentioned, Tyrese Haliburton, we got to see his health. We got to see how he feels coming off of that respiratory issue and how his lungs and body feel. But if he's there in this high-flying Pacers offense, they're going to have to go through Drew Holiday and Derek White. These are 2 guards that are top 10 guards in shot blocking. They're players that are not afraid to do the work to keep a player in front of them, move their feet. They have quick, strong hands to swipe down on the ball or to come up for that block. We've already seen that Derek White is committed to being a nuisance defensively. And then Drew Holiday, his ability to use his strength as a way to defend and also show versatility as a defender, using his lower body strength. I've actually talked to him about the work he does from the waist down, even to the strength of his toes, to help him use strength as a base defensively. And that's why you see him defend multiple positions.
You know, listen, there's value, I think, for every team who's advancing in this tournament. You talk to executives, coaches, players. You know, each team's situation's a little different. But what this is going to give Boston potentially is a pressure situation before the playoffs. Number one, to see, you know, as they integrate Kristaps Porzingis and Holiday, you know, into this team who hasn't played with this group in the postseason, for Joe Mazzulla and a new staff together to make adjustments, to experiment as they're going here deeper into a tournament. But I think, you know, you look at it like, use the example of a college team in the Maui Classic or UConn last season in the Nike event in Portland. You know, they won that event. They played in a tournament atmosphere, and it's not the end of the world if you lose it, but there's some galvanizing, there's some confidence that comes with how you react to that kind of pressure situation. Connecticut goes on, wins a national championship. I think that's the value you see in this, is at a time of the year where we wouldn't necessarily even be paying attention to the games. There are going to be a lot of eyes on Vegas. There are going to be a lot of, I don't say repercussions, but people are going to judge the winning and the losing. I think that's a good thing, and it's a very good thing for this Boston team that is trying to get over the hump. Last year it would be to get to the NBA Finals. This year, obviously, their goal is to win it all.
Yeah, and the Celtics are definitely top 10 in offensive efficiency, top 2 in defensive efficiency. So we'll see if they can put all of those pieces together. And we're going to add our Hall of Famer, Marc Spears, into the conversation here. Marc, what specific matchups are you watching closely the next 2 days?
I'm looking forward to seeing Zion versus the Kings tonight. I was in New Orleans during Thanksgiving week. And you know the Pelicans, they had turkey and they had the oyster dressing, but they didn't have gumbo. They had 2 servings of Sacramento Kings stew. They beat up on the Kings twice. And the main guy I thought was Zion Williamson. He scored 25.5 points per game. He made 22 of 32 shots, didn't miss any threes. And he also had, 3.5 assists. They have no answer for him. Keegan Murray's back. Maybe he could help. They're in Sacramento, but tonight with C.J. McCollum back, with Trey Murphy back, I think it's even easier for Zion. So I'm really worried about the Kings trying to keep Zion from scoring, and if they can't, New Orleans is going to be in Las Vegas.
Okay. Do you guys know how many times Tyrese Haliburton has played on national TV? How many times his whole career?
In his whole
NBA.
One.
In the NBA.
It's probably not that many.
Last week, right?
That's the one I want to see. Yeah. Tyrese Haliburton and Drew Holiday, one of the best offensive guards in the league this year, averaging 27 points, 12 assists a game. His stat lines the last couple weeks have been eye-popping. And then Drew Holiday, who is a defensive stopper, he'll be matched up with him for most of this game. And as you mentioned, Woj, Haliburton's been sick. It's going to be hard for him to have his win the way he does. I think he's going to be all right. Right? You get in that game, the blood starts flowing. Yeah. The competition is on your own home court. And this is only the second national TV game this man has ever played in. Come on.
So are you giving it to Haliburton? You're giving it to Haliburton?
No, let's see the Celtics.
I was just trying to box you in. Trying to box you in.
That's what I'm saying. No, you just said who you want to see.
Yeah. But you guys also spent a lot of time talking about how valuable this tournament is for the Celtics. Yep. I want to talk, I've also spoken with the Pacer side, coaches, understanding, hearing from their players as well. This is super important for them. Yeah. This is helping the Celtics prepare maybe for June. There are teams that are absolutely real contenders. The Pacers may not be there yet, but this is something real and tangible that they can win and hold on to. This is something that gave them urgency in the beginning of the season, an advanced opportunity to have playoff-like situations, chances to concentrate on execution and what that takes and looks like to be a high-level team. This was very useful for them. They're taking this very seriously. If they have the opportunity to win, mind you, it's not a 7-game series. It's 1 game, and anyone in the NBA can get up for that. They plan on hauling it to Vegas, getting there early, making the most of the time and this opportunity.
Oh, getting to Vegas early? That's hard, yeah.
But I think, though, for Indiana, you're right. You look at all the teams that are remaining in this tournament. This can give Indiana some legitimacy. Yeah. This isn't a team that necessarily we thought would be a playoff team this season. I think all the others remaining, you expected that, but it certainly gives some validation to kind of the direction this young team is going, and obviously they're doing that behind Tyrese Haliburton.
No one's excited for LeBron And KD.
That too.
No one's excited for
right,
LeBron and
all right.
KD. That matchup is definitely the one that I have my eye on. Last time those two met, they combined for 70 points.
You're right.
I thought we were only talking about tonight's games.
No, out of all four. Out of the entire
I mean, you made me make a choice, so
Yeah, could've made that more
I've seen this
clear.
one before. Could have made that more clear.
But every time we see this one, it has been golden. These two players going at it. Roz, I'll let you speak to this one. You've seen it a couple times.
Look, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, those two are ball players. We were so stuck on this thought of, like, who's the point guard, and they're playmakers. They make the right decisions. They're both clutch. They're both the savants. They're both smart, and they're both unstoppable.
Yeah, exactly. And again, Devin Booker did not play in the first two matchups.
Right.
The Lakers won the first two matchups. The first game they won by 5. The second game they won by 3. So I think that one is definitely going to be exciting.